All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the Bear Down podcast where we talk everything Bears every day of the week. Today, we have a very, very special episode after the Bears somehow miraculously pulled off yet another comeback this season against the Atlanta Falcons. Before we get into that, today I'm going to be your host. I'm taking over Chris's position as he's not here. He's currently in Indianapolis at the game watching the Colts. My name is Zach Rimbos. I'm the head video producer here at Bear Down. Today I'm joined with our co-host Parth and Jaylen. How are you both doing today?
Doing great. Beautiful Bears game right there. Nick Foles clutched up, stepped in, did the job. But we got a lot to talk about, so let's head into it.
My birthday is in 2 weeks, and if Bears games keep going like this and up until my birthday, I don't think I'm gonna make it, man. Like these been 3 crazy games. Of course, I'm happy that we came out with wins, but yeah, please stop stressing me out, Bears. Please, I love you guys too much, but you've been stressing me out these last 3 weeks.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at the past 3 weeks, they have been giving Bears fans heart attacks. Like, legitimately, it has been a crazy few weeks for the Chicago Bears. Not even the best of our opponents have we faced yet this season. And we've talked about it before plentiful times on this podcast. If we don't get off to a good start against these teams, we're going to lose games. And going into this game, you looked at Atlanta. They have by far, I would say, one of the worst defenses in the league right now. Definitely the worst red zone defense in the league. And we struggled severely at the beginning of this game. Matt Ryan threw a deep bomb to Calvin Ridley to start off the game right after we came down and Santos missed that field goal. And that was a killer. I felt like that was immediately when the momentum shifted. Mitch did not get out to a great start, as we all know. He just couldn't get things going. So Nick Foles comes in, and we'll talk about this in a few minutes. But guys, when Mitch got taken out, what were your initial reactions here? What were you guys thinking immediately?
I was surprised. I'm going to be completely honest. I have an Instagram page, it used to be called Trubisky Nation. I'm a big fan of him. I've been a fan since he's been here in Chicago. I was surprised to see him get taken out. I didn't think he was playing that bad to be taken out of the game. I know he missed a couple of deep balls to Anthony Miller, and then he took a lot of unnecessary sacks, and then he had the interception, which was a terrible throw in my opinion. So, it wasn't a great game for him, especially in the first half. He struggled. We got the ball. We were actually, getting downfield pretty easily the first 2 drives, and then we just couldn't convert into touchdowns, which has been a problem for Trubisky in this offense so far this year. And then you see him get taken out. You feel for the man. He's been nothing but great for the Bears. He's been a great person, great teammate, great guy, great person in the locker room. It's 3.5 years here in Chicago. It might be the end of the era, but it sucks to see that happen. But as long as we keep winning games, I don't think anyone will complain.
Man, it felt, for me, I'm not even him. Like, I felt bad because as a person who supported Mitchell since day one, since he's, got drafted by the Chicago Bears and through all the hate he's been getting over the last 2 seasons, I wanted him to succeed. Like Parth said, I was kind of shocked that he got benched. I felt like he wasn't playing that bad. Yeah, he had that, he missed a couple yards. He missed Anthony Miller, by a couple yards on that deep ball late in the second quarter, and then the interception. It's no excuse for that. It was bad pass. Allen Robinson was wide open across the middle. That was just a great play by the DB, and Trubisky threw it. Thank God he tackled him before he got a touchdown. But I was kind of shocked, still kind of shocked that he got benched. But yeah, it's sad to see, especially for Mitchell.
I mean, if you're a Bears fan, it's been an emotional day for a lot of people. I mean, regardless if you back Trubisky as we have, I would say us three probably the most supportive on here in terms of our podcast. We started out. I had a fan page for Mitch as well before I transferred to a more general, Instagram page. And obviously you two have had your fair share of that Instagram page as well. It's been an emotional day. You put so much draft capital into a guy who has been nothing but a leader for this offense, somebody who's, like you said, been great in the locker room, and given every ounce of what he has into this team. It is truly emotional just to look back and say, wow, what went wrong? And you know what? There were so many things that went wrong, but realistically, at the end of the day, what has to happen is the Bears have to be winning games. And right now it looks like Mitch maybe next week will be riding that bench, and we get Nick Foles to come in and do what he did this week and be able to pull off a miraculous comeback. And the Falcons now are the only NFL team in history to blow 2 games with a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter, and that is crazy. Last week they blew it to obviously the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott leading there. And today we see Nick Foles come in and be able to haul that team, this offense, to be able to put up these great numbers that we saw throughout the game and finish it out. So, I mean, I was not able to catch some of the game, but I've got to ask you guys, what was your first reaction of the first half? How were you guys feeling? Did you guys think it was mostly, defense was slipping up, or do you think it was just the offensive production that was hurting us?
It was a little bit of both. I think the offense was, getting downfield but couldn't convert in touchdowns like we've seen all year, and then a lot of 3-and-outs as well. And then the defense was I would say it was atrocious in the beginning. I've never seen our defense get picked apart like it has in a while. We don't see the Bears defense get picked apart, and Matt Ryan was picking us apart in the beginning of the game. So was Todd Gurley. He had a couple great runs there, and then, it was starting to go downhill, but somehow the Bears were always in the game. It was only a 2-score game. The Falcons had so many chances to put us away in the first half. Even the second half, they had the whole third quarter to put us away, and they weren't able to. The defense started clutching up in the third quarter. And then, we know what happens.
So my mic was muted, but wait, what was the question again? Like your voice is breaking up for me.
First half, what did you put the blame on? Would you mainly put it on the defense was underperforming, or do you think it was just mainly the offense was a stalemate?
I think it was both. We can't allow to first play of scrimmage for the Atlanta Falcons be a 60-yard bomb to Calvin Ridley. Like, we can't allow that if we want to win games. Like I said before, in the post game show, I didn't expect us to completely shut down Matt Ryan. I knew he was going to get his yards because they weren't really running the ball the first 2 weeks. They did against us, which is also something we would talk about. But we can't allow that. That opened up their running game, and the play action game became even more lethal. Every time they ran a play action, I was looking at Calvin Ridley getting wide open. Kyle Fuller has had a great season so far, but he got completely burned by Calvin Ridley. And I'm not discrediting Calvin Ridley because he's had a great season so far in the first 2 games for him as well. But we can't allow that if we want to win games. He's not even going to be the best receiver we play in this season. If Michael Thomas is not hurt, we're going to play Michael Thomas. We play Devontae Adams. Mike Evans in a couple weeks. So if we want to win games, the secondary has to play better. Eddie Jackson have the best game. I felt like he gave up on that play, and he didn't completely want to catch up to Calvin. The pass rush wasn't getting there at first. The penalties as well. We weren't disciplined at all. It was a lot of tic tac penalties that got called on us. And for the offensive side of the ball, the offensive line didn't look well. Every time we ran the ball, I felt like the Falcons knew exactly what play we were running in right in the backfield. Like, it was a couple plays where as soon as we hacked the ball, a Falcons defender was right in our face. Trubisky, he has to make that throw. Like I said, I can't make any excuses for him. But yeah, it was both sides of the ball. Both sides of the ball didn't play extremely well in the first half. I was just happy enough that we got 10 points because if we didn't score 10 points, who knows if we're talking about a comeback win.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this team too, I mean, they're missing Julio and so many key pieces from their team. And this has been a year where you've seen teams that we've played, especially with Detroit. Kenny Golladay was out, and we've seen Saquon went out with the ACL. We've been lucky with teams. We have not faced the burden of injury really in terms of our team and our roster. And I mean, you look at these teams and we've been getting lucky. Julio Jones is out today, and that could have been a complete game changer for us. We have no idea how it could went. So I mean, you got to wonder going ahead now. I mean, we got to think about what are the ways that we can get this team to get going, because we have a hard schedule coming up ahead of us. This second half of our schedule does not get much easier. And next week we face the Colts on October 4th. And right now, I mean, they're leading the Jets 17-7. But last week they ran over the Vikings. And, obviously the Vikings have not been playing too well. But realistically, we've been getting lucky. So what do you guys think in terms of what's going to keep this offense going and consistent and keep our defense? Our defense has been playing pretty well
Mhm.
And I mean, although they have let up some pretty bad plays in recent games, they have been playing very well in terms of they're top five in turnovers. They've been doing great with defensive. They're some of the lowest points allowed in the league. What do you think we do going forward? What's the key factor here, guys?
Nick Foles. I mean, we saw him basically throw 5 touchdowns. On the score, statistically, he only had 3 touchdowns, but he had one taken away because Allen Robinson couldn't come down with the ball. We saw that, and then Anthony Miller dropped the ball in the end zone. So we saw 2 touchdowns basically get taken away from Nick Foles. So he basically had 5 touchdowns in the fourth quarter itself, which is amazing. Coming off the bench to do that real fast, to pick the team up, get that momentum back was awesome to see. So going forward, if Nick Foles can just play consistent quarterback, that's all we need as Bears fans. We haven't had a consistent quarterback in a very long time. Trubisky's shown his spurts of being consistent, but he hasn't been consistent for game to game to game or quarter to quarter, especially. So if Foles can play consistently like this, keep throwing these dimes, I got no problem with him being in there. I think this team looked very different. It looked energetic when he came into the game. Oh yeah, to mention about injuries, we did just lose Tariq Cohen to a torn ACL for the
Correct.
rest of the season.
Correct. We did
So
lose Tariq. Yep.
so prayers up to Cohen. We don't like seeing that he just signed that big contract extension, but hopefully he can come back stronger next year.
Like you said, I feel like we've definitely been getting lucky. I know you said this like past, but they also lost Russell Gage and they lost Grady Jarrett when Foles came in. So I kind of feel like that helped us in the long run. But this team has to stay consistent. We said this for the last 2 post game shows. We will show up for one half and then play trash for the second half, and then vice versa. Obviously in week 1, this week it was kind of the same way. We put up points in the first half. But we put up 20 points in the second half when Nick Foles came in. If we want to win games, we have to play consistent. I don't know when we play consistent. Maybe that's why they put in Nick Foles, because they feel like he's not going to make a big play every time, but he's not going to lose us the game. He's going to game manage, and obviously Nagy felt that way, that he put him in the game and it worked out. But if we want to win games, we have to stay consistent. The run game really wasn't here this game. Like I said, we got shut down, but still run the ball because that's going to be our identity. David Montgomery has played well. He actually got us that big run on first down to basically win us the game. It sucks losing Tariq, but we still have Cordell Patterson. Maybe we might see some more Ryan Nall, and who knows, we might bring up Artavis Pierce from the practice squad. So, we have to stay consistent if we want to win games.
Consistency definitely is key, and I mean, you look at the quarterback situation. Obviously, like we said before, it is very, very sad to see Mitch get benched like that. But I mean, you look at consistency around the team. If we talk about the offensive line, guys, our offensive line looks way, way better than it did last year, right? I mean, it is
Trash today. Still kind of
Really?
playing trash today. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that the running game has been consistently
It's
better.
been much better, yeah.
Our passing game we've been able to get a little bit more protection.
Yeah.
Guys, I mean, last year we were talking bottom 4 of the league in terms of our offensive line. And this is the key factor to our game, I believe. And, we have tried to, I believe Coach Nagy has been trying to adjust to Mitch's game. And I think it just was never the correct system for him. I don't think he fit well in the system from the beginning, from the get-go. When John Fox was the coach, God, dear Lord, help us. But I never think it was. We always said, I mean, the writing may have been on the wall for him, and Nick Foles comes in and gets that. But I want to talk about Matt Ryan and the Falcons offense for a little bit, because what did we talk about when in the pregame? You guys said it yourselves. If you let Matt Ryan, who has been playing like almost MVP caliber, if you let him get off to a hot start, this game could have been way over like immediately. I mean, it pretty much was looking that way right away. And obviously we were able to pull that out. But guys, we just can't let teams get off to a hot start like this, especially with a quarterback like that, who I believe they're second in passing right now in the league. They've been on fire in the passing game. Their running game has not been that well with Todd Gurley back there, and their backs have not been producing as much in terms of their running game. But we've got the Colts next week, and then Buccaneers and Teddy Bridgewater the week after that. And I mean, we just cannot let these quarterbacks get off to a hot start. Excuse me. So, I mean, you guys want to talk about the Falcons offense and what you saw from the beginning of that game that worried you guys? I mean, obviously that Calvin Ridley pass was a momentum changer for us, but
Yeah, I mean, they got to a hot start, like you said. Like they had that big pass, and then even I think many times we're kicking ourselves in the foot. Yes, the refs kind of did screw us over with a lot of penalties. A lot of penalties. Mac had that penalty on 3rd and 10, and then they got another opportunity, so they got a 3rd and 5 where I think Hill, their backup running back, had like a 25-yard touchdown run, which shifted the momentum. Todd Gurley was finding the holes in the third quarter and second quarter. They were able to move the ball on us. A lot of teams have been able to get a lot of yards on us this year. We saw the Lions to be able to do that in the first half. Last week we saw the Giants do it in the second half, and then we saw the Falcons do it in the first half this week. So it's been a lot of back and forth. It's a lot of inconsistency. Like I said, it's been a lot of inconsistent quarters by the Bears this year. It's either the offense stepping up at points or the defense stepping up at points. But today we saw the team, pull it out. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is getting the W, and we got the W, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, and same for me too. The defense can't let quarterbacks get off to hot starts. We have to stick to the run game. We can't get killed by play action again because, at the beginning of the game, I thought Calvin Ridley's going to look like Julio and go off for like 200 yards or something like that because that's how I was looking every time they ran a play action. He was wide open. But I'm proud of this defense. I kind of got on them earlier because of the stuff they were doing in the first half, but when it came down to it, they completely shut out the Falcons after their first touchdown, coming out of half. So I can't really get on them too much. They also caused a turnover. They were getting pressure on Matt Ryan because they weren't getting any on him in the first half. But like I said, we have to stay consistent on the defense on both sides of the ball. But the defense has to get pass rush. We can't allow receivers to get open consistently, and we got to stop the run game.
yeah, I mean, guys, it just dumbfounds me. We're looking at 3-0, a Bears team that's 3-0, and it doesn't feel like that right now. Honestly, it feels like we've gotten so lucky. Obviously, DeAndre Swift dropping the first game dropping that ball. I mean, there are a couple of plays. It's a game of inches. And if you look at last year, I mean, with the Bears, making field goals against the Chargers and all of that, I mean, it is a game of inches. And right now, the Bears are winning these games by inches. And I mean, going forward, guys, I just don't know how we're going to be able to continue to do this. We do need consistency from both sides of the ball to start out. This defense has come up clutch second half and was able to, like you said, get pressure, get turnover, and give the offense momentum. But guys, I mean, just continuing on, we're looking at a team that's 3-0 now, and I mean, although this may be a really sad day for us Mitch supporters, and I mean most Bears fans who were looking forward to Mitch being able to put out for this team. I mean, how are you guys feeling that the Bears are now 3-0?
I'm excited. It hurts to see Mitch Trubisky not be our quarterback. I've rode with that dude forever, but I'm cool with Nick Foles being the starter as long as we keep winning. I just want to win some games. At the end of the day, I'm a Bears fan, not a Trubisky fan. So if the Bears can keep winning with Foles, we'll do it. And yeah, bear down, baby. Like I'll take 3-0 any day of the week. But yeah, I'll pass it on to Jaylen real quick.
I mean, of course, it feels amazing to be 3-0. I don't remember the last time we were undefeated
Yeah.
in the first 3 games of the season. Especially for me, I think it was like the last time I said like 2007 or something like that. And I wasn't watching the Bears in 2007. I was like 5 or some shit like that. So I'm just glad to see that we're 3-0. Excuse me, because we obviously could be 0-3 or 1-2 or 2-1 and stuff like that. So, we still have a lot of stuff that we have to get better at, but we're playing well enough to win games, and that's all that matters.
Right. So I believe what you're referring to is the Bears have got off to a 2-0 start, which is their first time since Mark Trestman was the head coach of the Chicago Bears in the 2013 season. Obviously, a completely different team at that point. But I mean, that is a crazy thing. Just thinking, we haven't gotten off to this hot of a start since 2013 is pretty crazy for us. But now, I mean, we got to get to the segment, which is we got to get to the MVPs of the game. So we're going to go in order, and we'll start out with Parth. We'll go offensive and defensive MVPs of the game.
I'm gonna go with Nick Foles. I mean, it's obvious. He came back, changed the game for us, won us the game. Like I said, he could have had 5 touchdowns in 1 quarter, which is pretty insane to think about. He's gonna be our quarterback, I bet, starting from now on, unless he gets hurt or anything. But yeah, he just brought a spark to the game and won us the game, and hopefully we can keep doing that.
For me, it hurts to say Nick Foles, but just to switch it up, I'm gonna go with Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson had 10 receptions, 113 yards, and 127 yards or something like that, and a touchdown. Uh,
Yeah,
um, I've talked about this in a post game show and the videos we recorded. And we need Allen Robinson to get back on track against this weak secondary, and he did it. He was completely burning Isaiah Oliver. Like I remember, like one play, it was like on like a normal slant route, and he turned Isaiah Oliver completely around. So that helped us. In the long run, and I'm just glad to see Allen Robinson back. Hopefully, he can do it for the rest of the season and get paid because we still need to extend him.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you went out with Allen Robinson there because I mean we talk obviously like you guys were saying we needed him to get back on track and I mean luckily we played a defense who has not been that good but we didn't get off to a hot start as it was. So it's good to see Allen Robinson be able to finish the game out like that. And obviously like you said it's big for this year his contract year here. And we do need to extend him 100%. He's shown time and time again that he is a receiver, wide receiver one and obviously a great offensive piece to this team. Today, I'm going to go with Jimmy Graham. I mean, last year our tight end production was nothing. We had JP Holtz, probably one of the best tight ends that we had on the team, producing. And this year we've got Jimmy Graham and Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet, not too much action, but Jimmy Graham today, 6 receptions, 60 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That is huge. And we talked about this for so many months before the Bears started this season, regardless of how difficult a year this has been with this addition of Jimmy Graham and the draft pick and Nicole Kmet. We needed these tight ends to show up, and that they have, especially Jimmy Graham, who's been, one of the best pieces on offense, I would say, among
yeah.
Montgomery and Allen Robinson and Miller, and I would definitely say Jimmy Graham's up there. So I mean, I'm gonna go with Jimmy Graham for offensive MVP. Parth, who do you got for defensive MVP this game?
Probably before we go with defensive MVP, I just want to talk that play where not like Foles just threw it up and somehow the pass got to Jimmy Graham. That was a crazy play. I was actually dying by Nick Foles. It feels weird for me saying that, but yeah. And then like it was a crazy play too because Jimmy Graham caught the ball, then he fumbled, then Anthony Miller picked it up, then he fumbled. Thank God we were able to cover it. I don't think we got any points from that, but that was a crazy play. Okay, sorry, Parth.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. I mean, Jimmy Graham has been awesome for the Bears. It's been great to see him. A lot of Packers fans tried to say he was bad, but like, I mean, he's been absolutely great for the Bears so far. It's great seeing production from the tight end position. But for defensive MVP of the game, I'm gonna go with Akeem Hicks. He's been great all year. He had 1.5 sacks today with 5 quarterback hits, a tackle for loss, and 4 total tackles. That brings his sack total at 3.5 for the season. He's been absolutely a dominating force this year. Last year he was injured for a lot of time, and we saw how our defense struggle because of that. But he's here this year. The pass rush looks great with him. I'm excited to see him get that sack total up. I mean, he could be looking at double-digit sacks this year with the way he's going so far.
I want to go with Akeem because he is the MVP. But I'm gonna just go with Shawn Gibson for getting that pick at the end of the game on Matt Ryan. He should have had one earlier on a tip ball from Calvin Ridley that he just dropped. But thank God he was able to pick this off of Matt Ryan. It was a weird throw by Ryan, but thank God he was able to come down with it and seal the game for us.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Akeem as well, but I mean, it is very big that Shawn Gibson was able to get that pick. Obviously, he has had a pretty good career, and he comes into Chicago and getting that interception and giving the offense momentum the way it did, and of course, with Akeem, the way that he played today was just phenomenal, and it's something that the defense needed to step up, and they did it yet again here against the Atlanta Falcons, whose offense has been very hot.
Yeah.
Luckily, again, like I said, without Julio Jones, we've kind of been cut a break here, guys. But we finish games. That's all that matters. Like you guys said, we get the W. We come out. But other than that, guys, I mean that'll pretty much do it here. Any final words from both of you?
Nick Foles, baby. It feels super weird saying that, like Jaylen said, but I'm gonna ride with whoever my quarterback is. I'm a Bears fan at the end of the day. If it's Foles, Trubisky, whoever it is, whoever gives us the best chance to win, that's my quarterback. And yeah, let's keep winning these games because it's a great being 3-0. It's so weird to be 3-0, but we could actually be at the top of the division by the end of the night. The Saints and Packers play tonight, so hopefully the Saints could pull it out for us, and then on to Indianapolis next week.
Go Saints. Who that? That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Jaylen has a lot to say, and I'm sure, I mean, we've talked about it before, but um, today marks a day in history for the Bears. Seriously, like
Yeah,
it really does. I mean,
it does.
today we have seen Mitch Trubisky has been benched for the second time in his career, and he's most likely going to be sitting for Lord knows how long. Hopefully, um, I don't know what's going to happen with him, man, but um, we've put so much into this kid, and it sucks to see. And he's given us so much as well. But um, I mean, thank you guys for watching. If you are new to the channel, I didn't say this at the beginning, but if you're new to the channel, go ahead and like and subscribe. We post Bears content pretty much every day of the week, 2 to 3 times a day. We come out with some podcasts, uncuts, and all that stuff. And we've been grinding. I haven't been on the podcast in a minute, so it was great to get back and talk with you guys, talk some Bears football.
Yeah, it was great to have you back, Zach.
Yeah, man, it's been a long time, couple of months
Yeah.
here.
Let me talk about you real quick. Zach's been putting out a lot of stuff for us. He does all the video editing. He does all these clips and highlights that we put up on the channel. Zach does a lot of work behind the scenes, so he doesn't get enough credit. So this is our man right here, Zimbos.
Zimbo.
But yeah, that'll pretty much do it.
But man, focusing on you guys. Thank both of you guys for you guys have been working just as hard as I have been. But also to our subscribers, you guys have made this possible. We have grown tremendous numbers over the past month and a couple of months, obviously. Returning to Bears football, we couldn't be more thankful. You guys have allowed us to be able to expand and get more studio equipment for ourselves to be able to bring more quality content to you guys and just it is amazing. Seriously, it's dumbfounding to just think of how I've only been a part of this since March, and we've grown from we hit 1,000 when I had first joined in the first couple of months, and then we're almost at 3K now, 300 subs off, maybe a little bit under. Really crazy to think about. So thank all of you who have been listening and continue to support us and avid listeners of Bear Down. We're going to continue putting out great content for you guys. It is not slowing down soon.
Yep.
Other than that, guys, stay safe out there and be sure to bear down. Peace.